Two men and a woman are dead in a home. We're live at the scene with the investigation.
An SUV slamming into a house. What it took to get the driver out of that wreckage.
And it's sun here versus snow there. We'll let you know just how hot it's going to get here and how we're feeling the impact of that storm back east.
10 News begins with breaking news.
Breaking news is in Vista. Two men and a woman are dead inside a home there. I'm Virginia Cha.
I'm Jason Martinez. Deputies have the area shut down to figure out exactly what happened. Let's go live right now to 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala at the scene.
Jason, Virginia, right now we are on Fillmore Lane. It's this quiet little street tucked away in this Vista neighborhood. You can see sheriff's officials right down the street blocking off the road, and right up here they have their crime scene tape up, and they are looking inside of one of the homes here that you see to your left. That's where those three people were found shot to death early this morning. Now, sheriff's officials tell us that a family friend with a key to the home walked inside around 5:30 this morning, and that's when she found that gruesome scene. Two men and one woman killed, all in separate rooms throughout the two-story home. But investigators aren't looking for anyone on the run, and they haven't ruled this out as a murder-suicide. Now, neighbors say the street is typically calm. They've never seen anything out of the ordinary here, but they also tell us they don't know of two men ever living in the home at the same time.
I've seen, I believe it was the father lived up there, and the mom, and of course the daughter that my daughter may have played soccer with years ago. Being shot is something completely different and very shocking. It's hard to believe, really is.
Now, investigators say that the three people shot, they believe that they are in their 50s. They expect to be here all day long investigating. They're talking to potential witnesses and neighbors right now. We're going to keep an eye on this investigation for you and bring you any updates as we learn more. For now, reporting live in Vista, Mimi Alcala, 10 News.
Thank you, Mimi. Now to this breaking news update. A homeowner has a huge mess to clean up after a car crashed into his back patio and destroyed part of his house. 10 News reporter Jared Aarons live in Paradise Hills. Now, Jared, I know you had a chance to speak to the homeowner.
Yeah, he said he is lucky to be alive because he was sleeping in that back patio just 2 nights ago. But no one was in there last night when a woman lost control of her car and came careening down this hill, crashing into the home. Our 10 News breaking news tracker was first on the scene as firefighters worked to secure the home with that big truck wedged into it. It knocked down 2 walls and part of the roof. Phil Sy, who lives here with his family, says it sounded like a clap of thunder when it hit. Police tell us the driver's an elderly woman. They think she may have had a medical issue before the crash. She went to the hospital with serious injuries. In daylight, a tow company worked for nearly 2 hours, bringing that truck back up the hill. Phil watched all of it, still in shock.
Yeah, so I thought I'm just dreaming or something. I couldn't believe that this is a reality.
What a weird reality, though. Neighbors tell me this intersection, this is Division and 61st, has seen a lot of crashes. And in fact, just a couple years ago, somebody else crashed into a wooden fence that was right here, knocking it down as well. Live in Paradise Hills, Jared Aarons, 10 News.
Thank you, Jared. We sent out word of this crash through our 10 News app. You can get breaking news alerts when you download it.
A breaking news update from City Heights now. Neighbors had to go door to door just to make sure everybody escaped the fire safely. That fire broke out early this morning in an apartment on Wilson Avenue. We brought it to you live on 10 News at 4:30. Now, the couple who lives inside and the woman's teenage son were not home at the time. The next door neighbor and his girlfriend had to get out safely with their cat.
We woke up to people banging on the window, on the door saying fire. I was sleeping fine. Luckily, my girlfriend heard the noise, and I woke up. I opened the door, and I seen smoke coming from the neighbor's door, my door, and I freaked out, you know.
Now, 2 apartments were damaged.
Some new developments here. The Bay Area man who jumped over the White House fence will be back in court today. Jonathan Tran climbed over the fence Friday night. Investigators say he was armed with 2 cans of mace. Secret Service agents arrested Tran at the south entrance. They say he tried to tell them he was friends with President Trump and that he had an appointment. Tran has a bail hearing today. He faces up to 10 years behind bars. Happening now, police are searching for a hit-and-run driver who punched his own passenger. The crash happened about 1 o'clock this morning near the Ocean Beach Pier. Police say 2 men were in a Volvo. That Volvo hit and then scraped a parked Toyota, which you see right there. The Volvo then went to the OB Pier parking lot where the driver got out, started beating up his passenger. Who knows why? The driver then ran off. The passenger had facial injuries. Paramedics took him to the hospital.
In your pinpoint weather, we're dealing with the fog this morning here, and we saw a lot of it earlier this morning now, and some other areas approaching heat records. Let's go live to 10 News meteorologist Megan Perry.
Yeah, it's kind of a tale of two parts of the county. We're still dealing with some marine layer clouds and some fog along the coast. You could barely see Del Mar still right now. Other areas, like you saw earlier, Poway, a lot of sunshine. I want to enhance the satellite imagery. You could see those clouds right along our beaches. So some inland areas maybe driving to the beach to enjoy the sunshine where it's really still very cloudy. Now 10 News Futurecast showed those clouds and that fog rolling in again tonight. Expect to see overnight and morning fog and clouds, the trend through most of this week. Some record highs are within reach for our inland neighborhoods, where highs will soar 10 to 20 degrees above average. I'm forecasting record highs to be tied or broken in Campo, Escondido, Alpine, and Ramona. While we're dealing with that, we have snow in other areas, Virginia, so it's kind of sunny here, it's nice here, record heat here. Not the case for everyone.
I know. I mean, you feel kind of bad because we've got, even though there's some clouds, we've got some pretty nice weather, but it has been bitter cold for 60 million people who are east of us. ABC's Maggie really shows us a storm moving east from the Midwest.
Millions are getting hit with a late winter surprise.
First thing I feel is snow. I'm like, what in the world?
Treacherous conditions in the Midwest.
I didn't expect it to get this bad. It's intense, so crazy.
Bringing snow and ice from South Carolina.
Been waiting for winter all winter, and well, it's finally here.
To upstate New York, ice completely taking over this home. Winter is fiercely hanging on. A freezing home opener for Minneapolis United. Soccer fans and players getting absolutely covered in snow. But it's just the beginning, with conditions rapidly becoming more dangerous. Whiteout conditions in Iowa causing cars to skid off the road. Major delays at airports as crews scramble to de-ice planes, and nearly 1,000 flights are already canceled for tomorrow.
Glad that we're leaving early. I wasn't happy when I booked the flight, but now that it's early, we're happy.
Cities like Philadelphia ready with nearly 50,000 tons of salt for the roads. And energy crews are preparing to deal with power outages for tens of thousands.
Over the next 24 hours, we have a developing low in the southeast that will combine with that storm in the Midwest, and that convergence in the northeast could dump up to 2 feet of snow in some areas. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
And you heard them say that there are flights affected throughout the country because of this weather. Here at Lindbergh Field, we are seeing several delays. So if you're waiting for friends or family to come, you might want to double check because we're seeing several delays here right now. And I want to show you what we're looking at across the country. All of that red, those are delays. More than 600 flights delayed right now. Of course, you can always check up on your flight. All you need to do is go to 10news.com and click on traffic. Jason?
Mel, thank you very much. Happening today, the Pine Valley man who killed his neighbor with a samurai sword will be sentenced. Douglas Kell stabbed his neighbor Donnie Chip with a samurai sword during a drunken argument last year. Last month, Kell pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter. He's expected to get a sentence of 6 years in prison. And a breaking news update. Police are investigating a crash in Normal Heights as a DUI. 10 News had the first camera at the scene on El Cajon Boulevard. Police say the white Toyota was speeding and hit a black Mercedes. Both cars spun out. One hit a traffic light. 2 women and a man got out of the white car and ran, but police caught up with one woman who fell to the ground. The people in the Mercedes are fine.
This is a developing story. Police arrested 2 people for vandalism in Skyline overnight. Look at what happened here. Neighbors woke up to find their cars tagged with spray paint, the car windows bashed in, and there was water shooting from a knocked over hydrant. One man says he noticed his water pressure going down, so he went outside to see what was happening and noticed the damage to his car.
All of a sudden, all the neighbors start coming. The cars were vandalized.
And was your car vandalized?
Yes, it was.
Police pulled 2 men from a house on the same street and handcuffed them. Neighbors say they don't recognize those 2 men. Police are still trying to figure out if anybody else was involved.
The prayers of a missing woman's family are answered after a kidnapping scare.
I love you so much, and life is not the same without you. Please come home.
10 News has the update in this bizarre case.
A man threatening to set himself on fire in Orange County, the wild night that led to a deadly shooting. Let's check traffic now with CHP Officer Tommy Dorr. Hey, Tommy.
Hi, good morning. We do have a traffic issue in the Lakeside area. Going to use a camera on the 67. This is affecting the northbound side traffic from the 52 up to about Mapleview. Caltrans is doing some road work. They do have one of the right lanes shut down. So this is affecting traffic after you pass Bradley. So use some expect delays if you're going to be traveling northbound on the 67 up to Lakeside. Use extra caution when driving through work zones. I'm Officer Tommy Dorr with your 10 News Time Saver Traffic.
Orange unfolded in front of cameras. This is video here from KABC. Now, police shot and killed a man after they say he threatened them with a knife. That man right there. Now, all of this started after a traffic stop. The man barricaded himself inside of that van with a gas can and lighters, and you could see there that authorities, well, they feared that he was going to set himself on fire or blow up the van. So officers broke the window, used that fire hose you just saw to try and get him out. They tried to arrest him after he climbed out of the window, but they say the man pulled a knife. He was pronounced dead at the hospital, but like you see there, Jason, all of it caught on camera. His identity not yet been released.
All right, Melissa, thank you. There are two big deadlines for Washington today. The Congressional Budget Office analysis is due to reveal the cost and projected reach and limits of coverage under the new health care bill. Plus, the Justice Department is supposed to provide evidence on President Trump's wiretap claims. Here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos.
Today, as Republicans brace themselves for a report on their new plan to repeal and replace Obamacare, President Trump sits in on a listening session on health care.
You represent the millions of Americans who have seen their Obamacare premiums increase.
The Congressional Budget Office, a nonpartisan federal agency forecasting the bill's consequences over the next decade or so, is set to release its score of the GOP's new health care bill.
The press is making Obamacare look so good all of a sudden. I'm watching the news. It looks so good. First of all, it covers very few people, and it's imploding.
Also due proof to back up Trump's jaw-dropping claims that President Obama had Trump Tower wiretapped. Top lawmakers on the House Intelligence Committee have given the Justice Department until today to do just that. So far, many seem skeptical, from the top Democrat on the panel.
There are one of two possibilities here. Either the president quite deliberately, for some reason, made up this charge, or perhaps more disturbing, the president really believes this.
And Republican Senator John McCain on CNN Sunday calling on the president to prove it.
I have no reason to believe that the charge is true, but I also believe that the President of the United States could clear this up in a minute.
But the White House is not backing down. Counselor to the president, Kellyanne Conway, this morning on GMA, suggesting surveillance may have been broader than wiretapping. She was asked if she had any evidence for her allegations.
Of course I don't have any evidence for those allegations, and that answer has nothing to do with what the president said last week.
Now that this unsubstantiated wiretap claim is with Congress, it is less likely to go away. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, Washington.
Highway 52 is clear now after a big rig full of flowers caught fire. Our 10 News breaking news tracker was on the scene about 3 o'clock this morning. That fire left a huge hole in the side of the truck, melted away the tires. Nobody was hurt, but the CHP did have to block eastbound 52 to the 125 while crews worked to clean this up.